Hi, welcome to the Revelation, where we are taking a kind of a broad stroke look at the book of Revelation. And it's important to know it's a book of Revelation, not Revelations, but Revelation, where we are kind of exploring what's there. Again, this is not a deep dive into it, but it is a big thought, big idea. And so today, in this episode, we're in Revelation 14, and I want to look at verses 6 through 10 with you, where it says this. Then I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, "Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water." A second angel followed and said, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries." A third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, "If anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, they too will drink the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. They'll be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb." Whew, that's tough. And Revelation certainly is a tough book to read if you're kind of on the outside looking in, meaning if you're not a follower of God, if you're not secure in that relationship with God, then this becomes a book that kind of gets a little scary sometimes. As we think about this particular chunk of scripture, in Greek drama, important scenes weren't always enacted on the stage. Instead, a messenger would come on stage and announce that a battle, a riot, or other significant event had taken place. That's kind of how they did Greek dramas back in the day. Well, that's the role of the angels mentioned in Revelation 14. These angels announce the events in prophetic history that will affect the people of the earth as they are living on earth through the tribulation. The first angel is described, and we just looked at this, in chapter 14, verses 6 through 7. This angel declares what is the everlasting gospel. Appropriate, right? During a dark time of history that will be unfolding all around people, even in the midst of judgment, it's an opportunity where God is offering his mercy and grace. When you drop down to verse 18 of chapter 14, that second angel announces that Babylon has fallen. The mention of Babylon signals the final overthrow of the false religious systems of the end times. Most scholars, and scholars are scholars, so you can agree or disagree, but most scholars believe that Babylon refers not only to a city, but to the idol worship that centers on Satan. It also is referred to in chapter 17, a little bit later on. The repetition of the word fallen underscores the certainty of its destruction. The third angel that comes along announces the option of those dwelling on earth. They can choose to worship the beast and be judged by God, or they can choose to worship God and be judged by the beast. Now, you heard me correctly. That means there's not an option C. There's no other choice by this point in human history. The ultimate battle of good and evil is taking place. There is no neutral ground, no compromise, two choices, but you got a chance. You have a chance to choose to worship God and be judged by the beast, or you can choose to worship the beast and be judged by God. And so, as we look at this passage, these angels are messengers, and they're bringing with them a message that happens in very dark times. It is a message that's intended for people in the throes of all of the stuff that's going on in the midst of the tribulation. But it is a reminder again of how God, even in the midst of bringing judgment upon the world, is willing and trying to give people a chance. As you think about that, as you think about studying the book of Revelation, read the entire chapter 14. It's a tough read, but it's a good read. And you'll be blessed when you read it. But recognize and hear through it that strain of hope that is there, where God is still giving a chance and trying to redeem those that were willing to come to know him. It's good news. Good news in troubled times. And good news as you think about how God is in control and brings to an end all of this is playing out on planet Earth. I look forward to joining you next time as we continue to look at the book for our next episode of Revelation.